And I will be speaking with a software developer who will be Tochukwu Egesi, who will be talking to us about this achievement of these girls from Anambra State. In just a moment, you're welcome to News Across Nigeria. You're welcome to News Across Nigeria, Mr. Egesi. Now, it's it's no mean feat that these girls will achieve this milestone. It's the first time in the junior category that Nigeria will win this award. What does this mean for technology innovation in Nigeria?
The good thing here is that the solution solves a problem. And in Africa alone, fake drugs contribute about 72,000 of the over 250,000 cases of malaria in sub-Saharan Africa. And so what they are bringing to the table is not just for Nigeria. We should understand that this solution solves a problem in Africa, a very big problem that a lot of international NGOs have not been able to solve. So bringing this on board is another addition to the health technology that is a thriving sector in Africa. But what we need to understand is the scale of the solution they are bringing to the table. Fake drugs are in different formats. So when you talk about fake drugs, we're looking at substandard drugs that do not pass quality tests. We're looking at counterfeit drugs that are completely, a fake of what the drug is claiming to do. Okay, so for the technology space, they've come up with another solution to a very big problem that can scale to any point.
Now, it's one thing to develop such a handy application. It's another for it to be accepted and used in Nigeria. Do you foresee any problems on it being used in the country? And is this an issue that software developers face?
Of course, this is an issue that we face in Nigeria, whereby adoption rate is always low and slow. Okay, but what matters here is the government. How does the government now partner with them? That is NAFDAC, to be specific, partner with them to deploy this. So if the young girls, this is just a new technology, and what they now have to do is to look for a way to find a deployment approach that will make it very, very easy to use. Because in Nigeria alone, you discover that my phone and your phone, has the average phone has a 2 gig RAM. Okay, and I don't buy drugs every day. So what this means is that I'm most unlikely to have the app that will help, detect this situation. You get what I mean? That's to detect a fake drug. So I'm most unlikely to download the app as an average Nigerian. Okay, so they have to find a way to work with NAFDAC and for deployment to be very, very, very easy. That's the only way adoption rates can be high. But generally, we face this challenge in Africa and in Nigeria, to be specific, where adoption rate is always low because of the format of deployment.
Therefore, it goes without saying that the girls need help, and software developers and innovators as well need help from the government.
Yes, they need a lot of help. They need a lot of help in terms of partnership, and not just software developers, because we are lucky that in Nigeria we have a great pool of software developers. So where the help will come from most is NAFDAC and the other agencies, as well as private companies. That is the drug producers as well. It will surprise you to know that their greatest challenge will be integrating with the drug providers, because they will need the drug producers to integrate their back end with them. That is their inventory system with them, so that whenever I want to confirm a drug, it will speak to their own solution. So not just the NAFDAC. The NAFDAC is just a middleman between them and the drug producers.
Yes, Tochukwu, it's such one thing I think is very wonderful about this achievement is that it speaks to the need of detecting fake drugs, which is a very, very invaluable part of the health sector. And it can also, I guess, be used in other sectors as well if it's adapted to other industries.
Exactly. And scalability is wide. That's what I said earlier. Scalability is wide. It's not just going to be for drugs alone. We can now use this technology to detect any other thing. And in Africa, one of the reasons why we have a lot of fake drugs in Africa is because of our borders. The borders that separate the African countries, are not very well organized. Hence, Fake drugs can easily, the borders are porous essentially, so fake drugs can easily move around, and other materials that are fake can easily move around Africa. So bringing a solution that detects this will now serve as a deterrent to people moving the drugs, and then they will just stop it over in the long run.
Finally, what do you see as a show of I guess, support from the Ministry of Science and Technology that will help software developers in the country?
First, they have to create an enabling environment. The ease of doing business has to be clear, and they are actually doing that as well. As you know, very soon they said the cost of registering a business would go down from 10,500 to 5,500. So that's a step in the right direction. But on the standpoint of technology, the government has to build on their partnership with global companies that provide us with our ecosystem. Okay, so I want as a software developer, I want to start a project with Google on Google Cloud. It should be free for me for the next 1 year, and not just free and capped at $500. It should be free, like open free for the next 1 year. The government with Osibanjo has visited some of these companies over the last few weeks. So we expect that, and he went with the Minister of Technology as well. So we expect that, we're going to get some leeway with some of these companies that we work with that are outside the country.
We hope that happens. That's enough time, as much time we have to talk about this issue. Mr. Tochukwu Egesi, thank you for speaking to us on the laudable achievement of 5 Anambra State students winning a Technovation Award to help the health sector in Nigeria, and they won it in the United States.